Hello, friends, and welcome to this midweek devotion. I find myself in a peculiar place this afternoon. It has largely and mostly to do with the news that we've been hearing these last few days coming out of Kamloops, the news of 250 bodies being discovered, the bodies of young Native children who attended a residential school in Kamloops, British Columbia. I don't talk about my early life very often, but I actually lived in Kamloops, British Columbia for 7 years of my life until the age of 12 and went to elementary school up through grade 6 and into grade 7. My experience in school was very different, very, very different. And the news of the discovery of those bodies has created in me a part of my imagination that I don't like to go to very often, and because it's dark. And this morning when I was driving through the city of Guelph, I heard a poem that I'd like to read. You will hear in this poem both the fall, the reality of brokenness, as well as redemption. There is something gospel about this poem, something redemptive about this poem, something restorative, something that I long for in the midst of these stories that are so dark. You will have to bear with this poem as the author, whose name is Dennis Saddleman, talks about the reality of his experience in that residential school that was just across the river from my home when I was just a boy. A place I loved, a place I thrived in, a place I still remember having good friends. Dennis writes these words: I hate you, residential school. I hate you. You're a monster, a huge, hungry monster, built with steel bones, built with cement flesh. You're a monster built to devour innocent Native children. You're a cold-hearted monster, cold as the cement floors. You have no love, no gentle atmosphere. Your ugly face grooved with red bricks. Your monster eyes glare from grimy windows. Monster eyes so evil. Monster eyes watching terrified children cower with shame. I hate you, residential school. I hate you. You're a slimy monster oozing in the shadows of my past. Go away and leave me alone. You're following me wherever I go. You're in my dreams, in my memories. Go away, monster, go away. I hate you. You're following me. I hate you, residential school. I hate you. You're a monster with a huge, watery mouth of double doors. Your wide mouth took me, your yellow stained teeth chewed the Indian out of me. Your teeth crunched my language, grinding my rituals and my traditions. Your taste buds became bitter when you tasted my red skin. You swallowed me with disgust. Your face wrinkled when you tasted my strong pride. I hate you, residential school. I hate you. You're a monster. Your throat muscles forced me down to your stomach. Your throat muscles squeezed my happiness, squeezed my dreams, squeezed my native voice. Your throat became clogged with my sacred spirit. You coughed and you choked, for you cannot withstand my spiritual songs and dances. I hate you, residential school. I hate you. You're a monster. Your stomach upset every time I wet my bed. Your stomach rumbled with anger every time I fell asleep in church. Your stomach growled at me every time I broke the school rules. Your stomach was full. You burped. You felt satisfied. You rubbed your belly and you didn't care. You didn't care how you ate up my native culture. You didn't care if you were messy, if you were piggy. You didn't care as long as you ate up my Indianness. I hate you, residential school. I hate you. You're a monster. Your veins clotted with cruelty and torture. Your blood poisoned with loneliness and despair. Your heart was cold. It pumped fear into me. I hate you, residential school. I hate you. You're a monster. Your intestines turned me into foul entrails. Your anal squeezed me, squeezed my confidence, squeezed my self-respect. Your anal squeezed, then you dumped me with your parental skills, or without parental skills, without life skills, dumped me without any form of character, without any individual talents, without a hope for success. I hate you, residential school. I hate you. You're a monster. You dumped me in the toilet, then you flushed out my good nature, my personalities. I hate you, residential school. I hate you. You're a monster. I hate you. Then a turn. 30 years later, I rode my Chevy pony to Kamloops. From the highway, I saw the monster. My God, the monster is still alive. I hesitated. I want to drive on, but something told me to stop. I parked in front of the residential school, in front of the monster. The monster saw me and it stared at me. The monster saw me and I stared back. We both never said anything for a long time. Finally, with a lump in my throat, I said, "Monster, I forgive you." The monster broke into tears. The monster cried and cried. His huge shoulders shook. He motioned for me to come forward. He asked me to sit on his lappy stairs. The monster spoke, "You know, I didn't like my government father. I didn't like my Catholic Church mother. I'm glad the native people adopted me. They took me as one of their own. They fixed me up, repaired my mouth of double doors, washed my window eyes with cedar and fir boughs, and they cleansed me with the sage and sweetgrass. Now my good spirit lives. The native people let me stay on their land. They could have burnt me, you know. Instead, they let me live so people can come here to school to restore or learn about their culture." The monster said, "I'm glad the native people gave me another chance. I'm glad, Dennis, who is the author, you gave me another chance." The monster smiled. I stood up. I told the monster I must go. Ahead of me is my life. My people are waiting for me. I was at the door of my Chevy pony. The monster spoke. "Hey, you forgot something." I turned around. I saw a ghost child running down the cement steps. It ran towards me and it entered my body. I looked over to the monster. I was surprised. I wasn't looking at a monster anymore. I was looking at an old school. In my heart, I thought, this is where I earned my diploma of survival. I was looking at an old residential school who became my elder. I apologize. It skipped on me. I was looking at a residential school who became my elder of my memories. I was looking at a tall building with 4 stories, stories of hope, stories of dreams, stories of renewal, and stories of tomorrow. Perhaps as you listen to me read the words of Dennis, the author of that poem, your eyes became wet like my eyes became wet with tears as I heard him read that poem on CBC just this morning. We are called to be people of redemption, people of hope, and we look to Jesus for that hope. We look to the love, the mercy and grace that he has given to us and that we pass on. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine on you May he lift his face towards you, and may you experience his peace. And may that be our prayer for those who have been hurt in systems where there has been so very much pain.